MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Candace is still out as she takes on Texas and travels around to check on her kids. That's where she's at. Our special guest this morning is Ashley. And Ashley, I've talked to my team of professionals that have the earpiece in my ear. And how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Shier.
I want to say Shier.
Everybody wants to say Shier.
It's kind of like, what was that show with the little people?
You're talking about
Lord of the Rings?
Yes, and everybody will come up to me and they're like, oh, Lord of the Rings, Shier. And I'm like, no, it's Shier.
So you live in the Shire. And
Yeah.
you are a teacher here in Lauderdale County.
Yes, I am. I do. I teach at Northeast Middle School.
And what is so odd about this is I posted her picture last night and she was blonde. And this morning we wake up and you're purple headed. What happened?
Okay, so basically we're out for the summer and I can't have purple hair during the school year. So me and my friend got together and I was like, I want you to use this shampoo on me. And so she put it all in my hair and it's supposed to come out, but this is like 3 weeks. We have one more week till school, and so I'm just like washing it every single day.
It ain't coming out.
I think it's gonna come out. If you look at the bottom, you can see the blonde. So we got hope. We've got hope.
Hope. Now, of course, I don't have enough hair to go purple with you. I could use it all day and nothing would happen to me.
Look, I have some actually left over. We could probably put it right here.
Now, it'd probably turn that. I ran up on, you know how just memories, somebody sent it to me, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a picture of me when I was 17, and holy cow, has time flown.
Okay, let's
I had
talk about it.
Full head of hair.
Okay.
And for some reason, I didn't have a mustache. I shaved it off at that point in time. But as far back as I can remember, I've had I think I shaved it for the senior portrait. Is the only reason I got rid of my mustache that time.
And see, why would you do that? Because your senior portrait is supposed to be like what you were during that time, and you took it off.
I took it off for some reason.
I feel you.
And we also, during these summer months, need to discuss this. Ashley has cost me, and she doesn't realize it. All because of Facebook. Yeah, you.
What do you mean?
You put a fence up for sale, and my wife bought it from you.
Yes. Okay. So I have this fence in my backyard, and my mom and stepdad, they live like 60 seconds down the road from me, and so they cut my grass for free.
Oh, do they?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate y'all. And so every time they come to cut it, they complain about the fence because it's harder to get back. So we were having like a pool day at my house, and they're like, "Can we please take this fence down?" And I was like, "Okay, let's take it down." So we took it down, and I posted it, and Angie was like, "Can I get it?" And I was like, "It's yours. Please come get it."
And then she starts adding on to the fence. Buying the fence from you wasn't expensive.
And I didn't know that. And so you told me, you were like, I got to thank you for the fence. I'm like, oh my gosh, is the fence like, is it bad? And you were like, no, I just have to buy more.
She's like got it going everywhere.
I have to look at it because I haven't seen it.
I forget what it costs a section, but it ain't cheap. So thank you very much for being an expense to me this
My
summer.
bad. I'm so sorry.
And the next thing, when I went to pick up the fence, it was at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You was just snoring.
Okay, stop. It's summer vacation. I love my naps.
2 o'clock?
It wasn't 2. You're such an exaggerator.
It was at least 1:30 because I knocked on all the doors and no answer. So I just thought, well.
Okay. Everybody that knows me knows that I love my naps. And there's no shame. Like, I'm not even going to be like, I'm sorry. It's nap time.
And Ashley was also, as you're waking up and starting this, Ashley was also a client of mine. And what I mean by client was I was trying to find her boyfriend. I fix people up from time to time. Mm-hmm. But it all would come to a halt. They'd say, oh, she's cute. And then as soon as they figured out who your daddy was, it was, well, I've got something to do Saturday night. No, I don't want to do that.
Well, if you know who he's talking about, then you completely understand.
Joe down at SMI is her dad. And that just runs men away from you.
Well, yeah, he's scary if you think about it. You know, it's like this man that's working some car shop, and he's got this bald head. You know,
he's like Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean, yeah, which is kind of creepy sometimes. You think about it.
So why come you hadn't gone down and worked for your dad during the summers is what I'm trying to figure out.
I have tried to get him to hire me. I'm like, look, I'm a teacher. I need some side income. Let me just answer the phones. He's like, you don't know anything about it. And I was like, whatever. I could Google it. So one day something was going on with my car, and I messaged him. I'm like, hey, my car is doing this. And he was like, well, why don't you tell me what's wrong with it? And I was like, crap, he got me. I really
and so
don't
you couldn't
know.
tell him.
No, there's no way I could do it.
So daddy doesn't let you work for him.
No, I think he should. Just like,
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching this morning. I asked him yesterday because Joe is really good at promotional stuff. And I said, Joe, have you got her headband and a SMI T-shirt to wear to where everybody knows where to go? That's just like your daddy. I don't know if you know him. Well, you know him better than I do. But
he's always got the shirts on that has SMI, but he's really good because he'll also do it like in the local school colors that he like really supports like all the schools. So.
And one good thing about Joe, which a lot of people don't know, he's one of those, if somebody's broke down on the side of the road, he helps more people than you know.
I will say that is 100% true. Like, for me, he may complain when he comes and gets me, but, like, he will be there.
Yeah. But I've seen him help a lot of folks that are out of town traveling. He really, really does a good job with that.
He does.
The weekend, for somehow or another, flew by. And yesterday afternoon, the rain that passed through, now not everybody got it, but if you were in the Center Hill area up anywhere near Chet's Paint and Body in that area, it come a downright flood where you couldn't see in front of you.
I'm going to be honest, I was watching lots of TV. I didn't really look outside that much, but...
That does not shock me.
I did get a video of my daughter with her father, and they're out in Southeast, and she was out there swinging in it, and it was just pouring down, and I was like, is there any lightning? And he was like, no, there's not any right now. So,
singing in the rain.
I saw it through the Snapchats.
And we'll have to get into exactly what all Ashley does know about history. It's a good thing that you teach English.
English, yes.
Yeah, because history may not be your subject.
Look, we'll find out that history is not my subject, but I did go to Savannah over the past 2 weeks. Savannah, Georgia. I've never been there before. And we went to a couple of places that were pretty historical. There was like a Prohibition museum. And that was really, really cool. And I found out that because the guys that were trying to escape the law with the alcohol, because they were going so fast, that's actually where NASCAR kind of got invented. And I did not know that. And I was like, okay.
You're kidding me.
So I know a little bit.
So I take it you've never watched the movie Stroke Race. Charlie Daniels sang it and starred Burt Reynolds, and it was all about Holland Shine.
Okay, so you already know. I thought I was like telling y'all something cool.
No,
but I have to watch it.
That's where it all began, running from the law. And then the next thing, because they souped the cars up and then it ran into, that's how it's far from that now. And
they also, I saw in the museum where they had the actual cars and they had the hood lifted up. There was like places where you could store the alcohol.
Yeah.
And you could close it up and just go about your day.
Yeah. So, well, you are.
I know a little bit.
Don't you feel kind of excited now?
I really do.
So have you watched, since you watch TV a lot, have you watched that TV show? And there's a lot of people that really like that Moonshiners. To where they make it.
My friend brought me back some moonshine from Nashville one time.
It's stout.
It's in my fridge. I haven't tried it.
It when I was in commonly, the Deep South is known for moonshine and this that, but the place that I saw it more when I was working and traveling was Ohio. It is like it's like, psst, hey, want to buy some moonshine? Under every counter, everywhere, any nightclub had it hidden somewhere, and it was like, whoa.
Well, okay, so I learned this in the Prohibition Museum that, that it was illegal to make or sell alcohol, right?
Correct.
But they would also sell these things that had basically like the directions on them, and it was like, do not do A, B, C, D. And if you did A, B, C, D, then guess what you would get?
Yeah, you'd get the end product.
So like, it was interesting because like I didn't know any of that stuff, so it was like, it was cool.
So why do you think Prohibition happened? What was the thing about it?
I think, now my memory
boils down to really one thing at the end of the day.
I think they thought that it was like creating like people to be a way they shouldn't be, right?
No.
Or do you think I don't know.
The government wanted the money from it. The people were selling things, they weren't getting tax dollars off of it. So that's how Prohibition came about. And it was all about money at the end of the day. And it really made people, you see crime bad now, but you go back and you look at what went on during Prohibition and the killings, the shooting, because it made people millionaires over this. Bootlegging whiskey was, it was, mafia related after you get down to it. They got to where they had these big shipping exports. It was huge.
I guess I didn't think about it that way, but why couldn't they just tax it? That was the issue. Why couldn't they just tax it?
And that's what happened in the end, where they made liquor legal and then it was taxed. And if you'll watch that TV show, you can even turn. There's several places that have moonshine that is legal if you follow the steps now. But also in the deep backwoods, there is a lot of bootleg whiskey to this day that is not taxed, that is sold out of the trunk of cars. And you will do a little jail time over it. It's kind of scary.
Well, I will say the Prohibition Museum in Savannah was really interesting. They had like these wax figures.
Yeah.
And I was all up in those wax figures. Like, you're not supposed to touch them, but I was just like, because I'm telling you, like, the hands had hair coming out of them, and
Really?
like their skin had like acne, and like it was bizarre.
Because the next thing, and I've never made it. I've only read about all this stuff, but if it's not made properly, it could kill you.
What do you mean, the wax figures?
No, the whiskey.
I was like, what? Oh, for sure. I think I've heard that for sure, because I mean, it's just like anything. If you put anything in it that shouldn't be there, and people are just blindly taking it. Because at that point, you got to think it was outlawed, so if they can get their hands on it, they're going to drink it, and then who knows what's in it.
That's absolutely
crazy.
right. So a little history lesson there for you. I'm glad you went to the museum there.
It was so much fun. If you've never been in Savannah, Georgia, 100% go. They got ghost tours and everything, which I could talk about that too.
Oh, that ghost stuff is fun.
I'm telling you.
So we got more coming up. We're going to say some good mornings. If you hadn't told us where you're watching from, do so this morning. We'd love to hear from you and talk about that here in just a moment. Also, let's go down to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They opened up the doors this morning at 7:30. Ron and his staff are there. And our biggest problem this year seems to be, well, the fly problem. I'm not sure if you've been out on your back porch this year, but they're awful. And they've got so much to choose from the products to get rid of these critters. And I'm going to call them critters this morning because they're annoying to get rid of them. T-shirts and a whole lot more, from taking care of your plants outside, getting that pine straw around them. And if you're outside working hard right now, they've got a complete line of gloves. If you need a work glove to keep those blisters off, they've got it for you. And then as we move on down from there, this is the stuff that a lot of people are scared of. Don't be scared of it. It's used to work with. Shovels. And, axe handles. If you've broken a tool and you need to replace a handle, they got plenty of these to choose from there. Differently. And sledgehammers, oh my gosh. Double axe swords, not swords, but axes there. Anything that you need when it comes to hand tools, they carry it for you, including all your pets. If you're needing something for that pet, some spray, some diet dog food, a special thing there, or a toy, they've got it for you. And, of course, insecticides, those fertilizers, taking care of all of this, to cookers, to work boots. Got to have those. Find it all there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Seed, feed, and a whole lot more to take care of you, and guns and ammo, all at exit 151 off the interstate. Drop in and see them today.
I don't have a high-paying job, but when I got into a serious car accident, I needed money. The surgeries cost more than I make in a year, so I called Richard Schwartz. He got me the money I deserved.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
And welcome back. I wanted to remind you that today is going to be an extraordinarily hot day. As we look at this, heat index is going to reach about 105 today. So extremely warm. Now on the west side of the state, let me pull this up and show them what they're showing for today. This is what the outlook from the National Weather Service is. This area here in East Mississippi from Meridian all the way just about to Brandon is going to be a level 1, which is about 105. When you cross that line into Jackson, Vicksburg, and these areas here to Greenwood and the Delta, about 110 on that heat index side. And this does not get better for the rest of the week. This is all the way through Sunday. Now, Louisville, as you get into Macon and you get down to Laurel, Hattiesburg area, this will reach that 110 mark. Mostly the Meridian area up to Neshoba County and down through Smith, and these areas will be a level 1 for the week. So it's warm. If you're outside, it's best to handle things early, from 6 to 10 a.m., and then go back after, say, 7 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Because it gets bad out there. And, you can fall out from the heat, and it happens before you know it. So be careful, and we've got rain chances every day this week. Now, let's go over and take a look at radar and see. We had somebody mention a moment ago that they were seeing some showers up around Preston. It was go to radar. We pull it up this morning. We are showing some showers now around Pearl River. These kind of dwindled out, but around Philadelphia, north of there, let's turn on some locations so we can see here. Out by the casino, we've got some showers there, and just north of Walmart, north of Lowe's there, in that area there, north of Williamsville, we got some showers out to the airport. They're light, nothing heavy. As we back out and take a look at the state, let's take a complete look at what we've got here. And that's that line there with that heat index, all of that orange area. Mostly, we look pretty good across the state of Mississippi and Alabama, even back to Shreveport. You got to go north of Denton, Texas there, north of where the Dallas Cowboys play, to find any heavy rain this morning. So kind of an outlook of what we got going on.
So I've heard y'all have had a lot of rain.
Oh, every day. You just got back.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
I've been in Jacksonville, Florida, staying with my aunt who's also a teacher. So every summer we always coordinate at least 2 weeks that we can kind of hang out at her place and hang out.
Yeah.
So when I left Meridian 2.5, 3 weeks ago, it was really pretty. I went to Florida, and my aunt says I brought the sun with me because she said the entire month of June it was just raining. Well, then I'm checking back at home, and y'all are saying it's just pouring. Well, I come back, and I'm like, well, I don't see no rain now, so it must be me.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's like yesterday afternoon. I thought we were going to get by, hopefully, with it, and then boom, there it was again.
Yeah.
I wanted to say some get wells this morning. I go to Northcrest Baptist Church, and it was right after church. They said that Brother Danny had been diagnosed with COVID. So we hope that Brother Danny gets better and that Miss Janet doesn't get that. He's in our thoughts and our prayers. He grips a big gospel gun there, and we hope he feels better. Also, I don't know the condition, but I do want to send out, hope she's doing better, Miss Betty Lou Jones, who's known across town. I hear she's been under the weather, and I don't know the latest update from Betty Lou, but I do hope she's feeling better.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah. And Jan, who's filled in a few times, her husband was in the hospital, and Jan's been hard trying to take care of him the last few days after he had a little stint in the hospital. So we hope each and one of you get better, and a little prayers out there. Mm-hmm. And as always, the big thing that makes people better is prayer. Don't forget that. That is a big part of us of getting well.
I think it's good for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna get somebody to pray for that hair of yours. I cannot get
Please
used to this
pray that it
purple.
washes out in a week.
Now,
I mean, if you look at the back, all the blonde's coming back. It was 100% like violet. It was like purple.
So have you considered just dyeing it blonde, or would you turn a different
because
color?
this stuff is specifically like a color wash. It's supposed to wash out.
Yeah,
so like, look at the ends. You see the blonde? That's blonde. You know that's blonde.
That is blonde.
Yeah, so it's coming back.
Slowly but surely.
I have a week, so I'm just gonna wash my hair like twice a day until school starts back. They'll freak out if I come back with purple hair.
I wish you luck with this.
We'll update. I'll let you know.
Let's say a few good mornings to some folks that are watching today that are out and about. You want to start here at the top?
Yes, let me do this. Ann Cook says, good morning. So good morning to you. And what's that one? Good morning starting at 8 a.m.
That was what we put.
Oh, that's what we put.
Yeah, you're an English teacher. You should have known that one.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so Joyce Snowden Godwin says, good morning with a heart. So good morning to you. And Wayne Wiggins says that it was raining in Preston.
Let's see. A good morning out to Terry Carter. Good morning to y'all, as she puts. I love her language there. Sharon Johnson says good morning as well. And Mary Chisholm, good morning from the Damascus community watching.
Nice. Milton Savell says good morning. You too. And not sure what that is there afterwards.
Fact checkers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Fact checkers. Don't. I'm not a fact checker, so don't take what I say legit. Michelle Ann says your hair is so pretty, so thank you so much.
That was nice of her.
Yes. Go ahead.
Stephen Wanda McKinnon is watching, and also Lovelace. M. Lovelace. Good morning.
Good
Glad you're
morning.
watching.
Dennis Robinson says good morning, and Tammy Fleming says good morning to everyone. Have a blessed and fun day. I like that you added that fun for sure. Thank you.
Dennis is going to be joining us tomorrow morning when you come back. They've got a big event coming up. He's a pastor at Blackwater Baptist Church, and they're going to have a special person coming to sing, and he's going to come tell us about it tomorrow.
Interested for sure.
Yeah.
Denise Burnside says good morning, everyone, and Teresa Miner says good morning and God bless.
Yeah. Let's see. Ray Strebeck is joining us as well as Nancy Clark joins us.
And Angelina says good morning from Carmichael. Where's that?
Clark County. Now, you knew that.
I don't. I'm so sorry.
That's on the rural route in Clark County.
Ooh.
Some good folks down that way.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see here. Also, we got Angela Duncan. You just brought that up. Milton was talking about moonshine distilled water. Yeah, that's a big part of it there. Something to do with mash, I'm told.
See,
Might have a smell to it.
I don't know the process at all.
Sure you don't.
I don't. Joyce Parker and Bull says, good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Let's see. Milton was talking about the taxes there. Let's see here. Ray Strebeck, you have to throw out the heads do not drink.
Sounds like somebody knows what they're talking about.
That's that top of the moonshine, I think, that you throw that off.
Okay.
I don't know much about it other than what I've seen on TV.
And Gail Gafford says that they are watching and good morning. And Chloe Gracie Simmons says good morning, Ashley. That's my friend.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah. Hey, Chloe.
Look at there. Is she a school teacher too?
She is.
Wow.
Bunch of school teachers.
Now, what grade is it that you teach?
I teach 7th grade English.
7th grade. Oh, I had 7th grade. That was Miss McCraney at Northeast when I was there.
Really? You went to Northeast?
Yeah, sure did.
That's
Graduated
cool.
there.
I didn't graduate from Northeast. I graduated from Southeast, but I went to Northeast from 1st to 6th grade.
And then got
so
switched?
I got switched, but I still feel like I'm at home at Northeast because I used to walk those same halls. So it's really cool.
What you're really telling me is you didn't have Miss Clark as the library. Who is library? It was Miss Clark.
No, it was
for up to a dozen years.
No, the librarian was Miss. She just recently retired within the past couple of years. If she was there for you, she had been there. Did you go to the middle school?
There was no such thing as a middle school.
No, we didn't have the same librarian then.
There was absolutely. You had the elementary, and then you went on over to the high school.
Gotcha.
It was 1st through 6th down on the bottom of the hill, and 7th through 12th at the big end there.
Okay.
And I don't think I have stepped foot back on that campus since I graduated. Is
High school. I actually never made it to the high school.
You hadn't?
Because I went from 6th grade Northeast to 7th grade Clarkdale for half a semester. And then I moved from Clarkdale to Southeast, and then I stayed from Southeast the second half of my 7th grade year to all the way to graduation.
Wow.
So I never made it to the high school. So sometimes we'll have events at the high school, and they'll say, go to this part or go to this part. I'm like, where's that? I don't know the high school.
So, I guess I ought to be ashamed because I hadn't been back to any ball games either. You know, the Friday Night Lights. I have not done that. I need to get out a little bit more.
You do. You're a community man now.
Yeah, and I can remember. It's just funny because when I started, my very first year of school was 1975, 1970, the bicentennial year, and we had that little program there for the bicentennial, and I got to tote the flag out there. I'll never forget that.
So 1975 was your kindergarten year?
There was no kindergarten for me. I started. I don't know if they even had kindergarten.
So it
back
was
then.
first grade?
It was first grade for me in 75.
Okay, so
76.
don't judge me. What's bicentennial? What's that mean?
Y'all help me.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
You should just thought that. you were thinking out loud again. Do you remember what year was the United States formed? Boy, this
I'm
is
an English teacher, y'all.
1776. They had this little document.
I know what year
there.
we went to the moon.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with that. The War for Independence, as we broke free, and then
That's John Hancock, though, right?
He was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence,
See?
right?
John Hancock.
But it was the 100th anniversary.
Okay.
200, 1776, 1876, and 1976.
Okay.
The anniversary, and so they had a program to celebrate that, the signing of the Declaration
Well,
of
that's
Independence.
cool because that's like in your memory forever.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'll be around for the 2076 one.
You never know.
I probably won't make
You
that
never
one.
know.
No, you never
With
know.
all this new medicine and.
I'm not sure I want that though.
I think you're right though. Like I feel like there's a certain age where you're just like.
Well, I watched, and I know other people have watched that scene in the Green Mile, there at the end, where he outlives all of his friends, and all of his children have passed away, and he's just stuck there.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of miserable.
I think it would be because everybody that you grew to love and,
Right.
and enjoy would be gone, and then you'd be left behind. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess you could start over, but
Did you watch the Green Mile? So you don't know the scene that I'm talking about, Mr. Mouse there. After John touched him, he got that power, and it gave him the thing of living. And he was telling this lady about it. He goes, "I'll attend your funeral too one day." And he goes, "I'll still be here." And that would be
kind of sad.
Yeah, to a
Yeah.
degree. I want to live in heaven. I don't think I want.
So yeah.
Yeah, there are limits.
I agree for sure.
And I guess the moral to that story is always be careful what you wish for.
For sure.
Truly.
That's an English thing.
Is it?
It is.
Now, where you're over the top smart, I could not diagram a sentence if you made me. I can't even, I make a lot. If you look at my page, I make a lot of grammatical
Nah,
mistakes.
it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, there's a comma here or there, but I will tell y'all, and even with me not graduating too long ago, I graduated in 2010. School from then versus now is completely different. Like you just said, you don't know how to diagram a sentence.
don't.
That's not stuff that we do in English anymore.
You're kidding me.
No, because we teach things like what's the theme or like what's the lesson that you learn, or we teach students how to like read a passage and come up with the perspective of two different characters based off the same topic. Like I feel like English is more life now. It's not just, is this a preposition? Is this an adverb? We teach some things. We teach some critical thinking and
Right.
not just like identification.
Look, drawing that line, and they had those little lines off, and
See, we don't do that anymore.
Wow.
We really don't. Like, we don't spend a bunch of time just going, is this word an article or is it an adjective? If I asked my students to do that, they'd be like, what?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. So would you be good at Wheel of Fortune? Would that be like after being an English teacher, could you do that?
I've watched Wheel of Fortune in the afternoon. I think
And
it comes
I'm
on like a
awful
sixth,
at
I
it.
think. I'm
I
not
can't do
great.
it.
No. And here's the thing. Have y'all ever been watching a game show from home and you're answering it, you're like, yeah. And then you download the app and you play it on your phone and you can't come up with nothing?
Yeah. Playing along with others, you're better at it.
I've done that before, especially like Family Feud. I love it.
And then the deer in the headlights look of,
I think if I went on one of those shows, there's no way. I'm not bringing home the money.
Well, let's see here. We have some more good mornings there. LaWanda Grantham, need to be careful with moonshine. You can die from the alcohol poison.
Yeah, and we talked about kind of like what people would put in there.
Michelle, is that Annie?
And yeah.
Yeah, Savannah is awesome, she says. And, I have never been to Savannah. Love to go one day.
Her husband is super sweet. We came down for 2 weeks and he said, y'all, because we're both teachers, and he was like, y'all need like a girls getaway. I'm going to watch my kids and I'm going to watch Ashley's kids, and y'all go for like 2 days. So we got in the car and we drove 2.5 hours to Savannah, Georgia, and I knew nothing about it.
Right.
And then turns out like it's this big historical district.
Correct.
It has so much history in it, and it's just cool.
All I know is this man wants something, and it's big. I don't know what it is.
No,
that
he doesn't want anything.
Yeah, he does.
He's super sweet.
Yeah.
How nice though. But we came back or we were there actually, and they were texting, and she was like, "How's it going with the kids?" And he was like, "I have like a new appreciation for what you do every day, and I appreciate you and love you so much."
I bet so.
So yeah.
Sarah Niece is watching this morning. My baby brother is in Orange Beach, Alabama. Hope you're having
I'm
fun
so
there.
jealous.
See, T-Roy says, good morning from the Clarkdale community. Glad you're with us today.
And Sandy says, watching from Lake Claude Bennett, and it's a beautiful morning.
Oh.
And Michelle Ann says, watching from Florida.
Yeah, we hope that's good down there for you. Kim Valking all the way from Quitman this morning, along with Galen Bradshaw watching us. And Sandy said, prayers for Brother Danny Lanier. My daddy was a part of his ministry, and we do hope Brother Danny gets better there.
Absolutely.
That's a tough one. Sometimes you don't even know you have it.
Barbara Vick says good morning, and Wayne Dolores Roberts says good morning to you both. So thank you.
Scuba, Mississippi is chick clocking in. Gail Williams joins us. Thank you there. Brian Troy also. Good morning.
Kathy says good morning, and Susie Butler says good morning. That's my children's grandmother.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So good morning.
All right. Good morning also to June Farmer watching with the librarian. Boots with the librarian.
Boo. So they were telling us who the librarian was back in your day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Pat Banks, good morning to you also.
Oh, and Barbara Grissom Schneider says that they taught at Northeast. That's awesome. At that time, the high school and junior high were on the same campus. Gotcha.
Yeah. And, my mom was a teacher there for 42
You didn't want to
years.
be a teacher?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know. It wasn't my thing, I guess. Maybe it was I was one of those that was not a great college student.
Gotcha.
I did go to college, and it turned out it wasn't for me.
Okay. I wasn't a great high school student. Like, my friends will tell you, I barely ever came to school. I skipped a lot. But in college, something just clicked, and I was like, I like this, and I kind of did better at that.
But it didn't take me long to catch on sometimes that somebody that gets a piece of paper that gets over you can tell you what to do also if you don't have that. And sometimes that's not good. Yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm sure y'all have too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Good morning to, Barbara Snyder, Love Green Mile. He did have the circus mouse.
I don't know that.
Okay, you have really
I'm going to watch it.
It's a touching story.
Is it on Netflix or Hulu?
It'd have to be.
Okay, I'm going to look it up. It's called The what?
Green Mile.
Okay.
Tom Hanks has had several career movies, and that was one of them.
Okay.
Let's see. Also, we say happy birthday to Jada Cooley having a birthday today.
Happy birthday. You know what you should do on your show?
What's that?
You should do the birthday song.
Happy birthday.
You remember on the radio they used to do, this is your birthday song, it isn't very long. Hey.
Yes, I do remember that. Back in the day, it was a big deal on radio to have your name announced. It's kind of faded away through the years.
You think so?
Yeah, it may be a big market for it still. We'll
I think that maybe people just don't listen to radio as much as they used to because you have like all the streaming services like Spotify and Pandora.
That has affected it. And we'll bring up some celebrity birthdays here in just a moment. There's a heap of them this morning.
All right.
Let's see. Forkland, Alabama joins us. Feed the mash to the cows and then walk away. It's funny.
Patricia Broswell says that they are watching, and Betsy Holly says good morning.
Also, Bill Reinhardt is there along with Connie Shockley. Good morning from where does that say?
Beaver Dam.
Beaver Dam.
Do you know where that's at?
No, I don't.
Oh, gotcha.
You did get me on that one. So
Morgan
Connie,
Plunkett. This one's my friend. She says good morning from Sunny.
Where's Sunny at?
That's actually her daughter. She just had a baby, and she named her Sunny.
Oh.
How cute, right?
Okay. Well, I said I would have never caught that.
Good morning from Sunny. We've been trying to figure out where Sunny is in Mississippi.
She wanted to know, Maureen Fowles wanted to know, do they still teach
Ooh, that's
cursive?
Actually an interesting question. Do they still teach cursive in school? We don't. And whenever I first started, we had this whole meeting and they were like, should we keep teaching cursive? And I was one of the younger ones in the building. So they looked at me and they were like, when you were in college, did you use it? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, what do you think? And I was like, ooh. And all the older teachers were like, we definitely think that it should be taught. And like, I learned it, but we don't teach it anymore.
Why? Do we know?
We don't teach it anymore because it's just not used. Like,
because when I use it every day.
See, and I use it to sign my name, but I don't write in cursive. And I think one of the main things that they were using to decide was it used in higher education? Was it beneficial? And I told them the truth. I was like, we didn't use it. Now that doesn't mean I don't have an appreciation for it. It's just something that the college didn't require. Everything was typed.
Oh, typed, but isn't typed and handwritten two different things though?
It is, but think about everything that we like. Think about everything now. Everything is so digital.
That it is.
I mean, even our students in the classroom, we're typing everything now. We're not really handwriting.
But I call that dumbing down of America, in my opinion. But doesn't it take longer to print the letter of each one instead of cursive writing, where you just? Now, I'm horrible at, but I got U's. I'm telling you, from first grade on, I got U's. I don't even know if they use U's anymore, but under satisfactory, isn't that what that stood for?
Either that or unsuccessful, but unsatisfactory is probably the nicer way.
Yeah, that's what they told me when I was in first grade, second grade, third grade, all the way through.
In cursive?
No, handwriting, period.
Gotcha.
My handwriting is horrible.
Well, let me say this. I should say this. In middle school, we don't teach it. Now, I'm not an elementary teacher, so they could... they could. I remember I think it was third grade, we were learning how to do it. And I remember my teacher telling me, your cursive is going to be way better than your print.
Wow.
I mean,
I just didn't realize that.
So in middle school, at my school, we don't.
That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to Valerie. Is that Mooney? Is that
Maloney, maybe?
Maloney. Yeah, okay.
And Jack C. Thompson says, good morning, watching from Union.
We do that. Who's your mother, Scotty Ray? Miss Lucille Boyd was my mother. She taught 8th grade English. And if you stepped through Northeast High School, you learned a poem from her.
Really?
No, let's take that back. You learned tons of poems.
Do you know one now?
You had to do the Gettysburg Address.
Okay.
Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. I remember the first time I had to do one was 6th grade. And first time I had ever been in front of a crowd. And was it Mr. Tisdale that taught English? And I had to do 20 froggies sit beside a pond. I can't. Now,
do it, come on.
That's the best I remember. 20 froggies sit beside a pond. Anyway, I had to do that in front of the 6th grade class in front of everybody. And
that's intimidating.
It was. I didn't. But my mom now, you had to learn those poems.
So your mom as a teacher made everybody learn them too?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was just gobs of them.
I don't make my students recite
And don't think you was going to get through there without watching Gone with the Wind. You were going to watch that.
Nice. That's awesome, though. Watching movies in school is always, like, one of the favorite days, especially back in the day. They'd bring, like, that big thing out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's got that big old TV on it, and you're like, yes, this is going to be nice.
Yeah, it like passed the time. Ron Harper says he kind of likes that purple hair after watching you for 10 or 15 minutes now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Let's see. Back to Sam Simmons had some comments there about the moonshine there. It had some chemicals in it, didn't it?
Okay, I like to see that he said, not that I've done it. Are you sure now? How are you an expert here? Like, come on.
Because he's watched the TV show.
TV.
Yes, moonshiners. Good morning to Connie Shockley there from Clark County. Also, Laura Orflin. Good morning to you also.
And Sam Simmons says, doing good, Shire. Good morning. Shire is, I'm a teacher, so everybody calls me Shire.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, learning more there. Let's see. Sam Simmons joins us there. Good morning. And let's see. Also, Gail Williams, scary about education trends these days. Visit the Promised Land. Journey.
To schedule a tour.
Huh.
Okay.
I don't know where that is.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. You'd have to tell me more about that. Let's see. Taught fourth grade at West Lauderdale, LaWanda Grantham. Tammy Fleming joins us.
How are you going to sign a check if you can't write in cursive? Plus, when computers and stuff not able to help.
Good point.
I mean, that is true. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. All the way from Marietta, Georgia, where Travis Tritt is from, we have Morgan Plunkett watching this morning.
Hey, Morgan.
Let's see. Milton Savell joins us also there.
Oh, I like what he said. Need to teach kids how to tell time on a real clock. I remember back in the day we had the yellow one and it was like the red. Like I said, I'm not an elementary teacher, so I can't speak on what is or isn't taught at that age level. But I do agree. I think it's important to learn how to tell time on something that's not digital.
See, back in the day when radio was live, everything was that second hand, and you had to watch it to, like, you have a full hour of music and you had to hit ABC News at the top of the hour live. You had to add up all your music and then back time to the second to hit it live, and you learn how to read a clock pretty good,
pretty quick.
Yeah. Let's see here. We also have some more folks there. Good for her. Good morning from Matherville. Mario Summerall watching there.
And she said, happy birthday to my daughter today. She is truly my best friend, Ashley Hemmick. Love you, Ladybug.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Hope she has a great one there. Fond memories of poems. And Denise Burnside joins us there. Gotcha. Yeah, some good stuff there. And I thought we'd get into a little bit of this, but this is where we're fishing to really get in here and find out what Ashley knows, because I'm afraid we may have...
Don't judge me. Stop.
It was on this date. It was 1775 that the U.S. Post Office was established. Not a big deal, but it did help get letters around. Benjamin Franklin was the first Postmaster General. I did not realize that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's important.
It is. As we move forward to some other things that happened on this day. Also, 1908, and you would have thought that it would have been before this date, but the FBI was founded on this date back in 1908.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some guys.
I wonder what happened to make them start that.
Well, yeah, that I don't know. I know the Secret Service, after Lincoln was shot, was formed because of that. And but the FBI, I don't know.
That'd be interesting to find out.
And then they jumped right into Prohibition right after that. It was a birthday on this date, and we were talking about this, and bless your heart, she didn't know who Flash was.
Yeah, stop. Why are you doing this to me?
The Flash is like imported here.
Okay, I've seen the movie Dukes of Hazzard.
Wait.
I've seen the movie.
You just said the wrong thing there. You said movie.
Wait, what do you mean?
The movie was really not good.
Oh,
the second
okay.
one. It just...
Well, I've seen it.
Well, see, it went against all morals. The Dukes of Hazzard, Bo and Luke, Uncle Jesse never would cuss. That was just like, it wasn't going to happen. And by no means would they have smoked dope. And then all of a sudden you got Willie Nelson smoking dope up on the big screen. You're going...
Didn't he do that on top of the White House?
He did.
I heard that.
But, it just really... It shook America, and especially Cooter. Because he talked about it. You can't imagine putting these boys in that because that was not the TV show. It was a family. It's kind of like the Waltons, just with a fast car, the General Lee. But Roscoe P. Coltrane was born on this date back in 1926, passed away in 2015.
Okay.
Real nice guys. I got to meet him and a bunch of them at the Choctaw Indian Fair years ago. Bumped into John Snyder several times. And who remembers this song from 1942? No, he was born this date in 42. But it was Dobie Gray, Drift Away. You remember that?
I don't.
Uncle Cracker re-recorded it. I don't know if maybe that...
Well, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's only two songs I know. And Follow Me.
Everything will be all right.
That's it.
Yeah, I know that one.
But Dobie Gray was the first person to record Drift Away. It was a huge hit back in the 70s. Let's see. Mick Jagger also has a birthday today. You know who that is?
Like I said, the name sounds familiar. That's about all I got.
All I can tell you about Mick Jagger is he has got the biggest lips I've ever seen in my life. They're huge. But he sings great.
And it's all natural, right?
Yeah, he
no
didn't
lip
go...
injections?
Yeah, that stuff that they do these days to make that look plump.
Okay.
He was quite the singer, though, and put them on the map there. This was a superstar. People loved her. She was in that with Sylvester Stallone. I believe it was Red was the name of the movie. Helen Mirren was born on this date back in 1945. She was a huge star there. Also, this guy who's been in all kinds of trouble lately, and I think that he is finally getting another movie.
Okay.
Kevin Spacey was born on this date, and you'll remember him from House of Cards. A lot of charges were brought against him, and they canceled his character, chunked him off the TV show.
I know the TV show title, but I've never watched it myself. I think I've seen it on Netflix before.
I made it to about 2.5 seasons, and it was.
Oh, really?
It really was portraying what really goes on in Washington, and then it got to where they crossed a line between what I believe is right and wrong in this world, and
got rid of it.
I turned it off.
Gotcha.
Same thing happened with me with. Did you watch Walking Dead?
Okay, so I did watch Walking Dead, and I was like an avid fan.
Me
for
too.
Sure. But it got to a point where it was so repetitive, and I just like lost any like hope for the storyline, and I gave up.
It was the season that season opener where they took the baseball bat to those regular, and I turned it off and I never went back.
Yeah.
There was no sense in that scene, and it ruined it for me.
Yeah. I usually don't give up on shows because like I love to binge watch TV shows. Like if I'm gonna sit down and watch TV, it's gonna be a TV show. It's not typically a movie.
Right.
But I gave up on it.
I'm
I think
with
it's
you.
still going, is it?
I heard, because they always scream Carl. I think Carl is no longer a character. I think Carl's been knocked off.
Well, don't spoil it.
I think
alert.
I think there was like 20 seasons ago.
Yeah, you're right.
And then they made that spinoff of it that I never
What
could.
was the spinoff?
Fear the Walking Dead. It was.
I didn't watch
it went to
that.
California.
Gotcha.
Didn't interest me a bit. If you don't know this lady, me and you going to have a long talk.
I know Sandra Bullock. Is that how you say it, Sandra Bullock?
She was born in '64, and of course, a lot of people know her from The Blind Side. She's a great actress.
Yeah, I know her for sure.
Angie never misses an opportunity to watch that every time. And
That's a good movie.
You got to give Tim McGraw hats off on that. He played a part in that movie.
You know, I've seen the movie, but I don't think I remember that Tim McGraw was in it.
Yeah, the dad.
Okay.
That's him.
Nice.
Friday Night Lights, he was in that. Tim's a better actor than given credit for. He should do some more.
What else was he in?
He's had some cameos, but those two, Friday Night Lights and that one, were his two big ones.
Gotcha.
Played a great part. This guy, and there's not many action heroes left in the movies anymore, but this guy is Jason Statham. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Miss English teacher?
Oh,
Or is it Statham?
I have no idea. I teach middle school, so I'm not really familiar with the phonics and all that.
But you'll know him from The Transporter, all those movies. Really played a good part there. And The Mechanic, that movie, it was big. It was 1969. I was just born, and this was the #1 song out there. He released The Boy Named Sue.
I don't know that one.
Okay,
You were just born. How do you know it?
Because it's a classic.
Oh, I know some classics.
To where, the whole moral to the story is his daddy leaves him and his mama. But before he left, he named a little boy he named him Sue. Mm-hmm. And so his entire life, he has to fight everybody because his name is Sue and not Bill or anything.
Gotcha.
And then he meets his daddy 20 years later and they fight in the street. He's going to kill him because he named him Sue.
In this whole song, all this happens?
Yeah, it's cute.
That's good songwriting then.
It's cute. Johnny Cash, of course. And we go back. This never interested me, but this was popular. So many people loved it. 1975, Do the Hustle.
Do the Hustle. Do, 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 do. I know that one. Are you so proud?
I am. Disco.
Nice.
That was a different way of life. So that was big back in the day. And it was 1980 that this came along. And I've got to say, it was pretty bad. But it did go #1. The reason it went #1 because it had two big names. Mm-hmm. You've got Merle Haggard, and then you throw in a little Clint Eastwood. Well, you've got a #1 song. The name of it was Barroom Buddies.
Okay.
Clint just kind of talked in the song.
I'll talk in a song. I could do that.
I almost want to say that y'all correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he make a cameo in a T.G. Shepherd song? Go ahead and make my day. I want to say there was a song.
No.
It's been a while. And this was big deal back in '99. Shania Twain shipped 12 million copies when the album was released. 12 million of them hit stores.
Okay, do you know a song that was on this album?
Oh.
Because I know some Shania, but I don't know
I don't know what was on it. I've met Shania.
Ooh, cool.
She's a sweet person, but I wouldn't say that her music was, man, I feel like a woman. I didn't go around singing that.
Why not?
I was more of a Reba who's ever in New England.
Gotcha.
What am I going to do with the rest of my life? It just hit closer to home for me.
Okay.
But that brought in a whole new audience to country music that had never been there before.
I remember watching her music videos on CMT.
She had the what was the song where she dressed like Robert Palmer, in the tuxedo and the hat and the cane. And she says she can still fit into that outfit 20-something years later.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I saw the little wheels turning, and you didn't know.
I was trying to figure it out. I know, man, I feel like a woman, and then the one, whose bed have your boots been under?
That's probably one of my more favorite Shania songs.
Yeah, I like that one.
But you got to give that woman credit. She went through a very horrible childhood and made something of herself, and then caught Mutt fooling around on her.
Really?
Yep. It ended bad for Mutt.
I didn't know that.
It did. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends out of the Precast Group. And if you own cattle, boy, this would be good. And of course, do you know what that is?
I know what cattle is. Come on now.
I'm talking about that picture.
Oh, is that where they eat?
It is. That's a cattle trough.
Come on now.
And if you've been building yours out of wood and they rot, talk to them today at the Precast Group, and they can take care of you. They build all of your cattle troughs. They do the walkways, your gates. They can also do picnic tables. If you want a concrete picnic table, they build those also. But when it comes to keeping your family safe, this is what they do. The Precast Group, they're there for you with these storm shelters that'll keep you safe through any storm. They weigh 20,000 pounds. They're bolted down. If you're building your home, it can be installed as a closet before it's built. Now, if you've already got your home, they can set it right outside, and it'll look like this. You can arrange it any way you want on the inside. You can have these that are buried in the ground. If you want it inside of a hillside, this is what it looks like. So many different ways you can do it. And the Precast Group is there to keep you and your family safe. Talk to them. They'll tell you so much more than I can. They do this every day, and it's all about safety. Steel doors, there's nothing going to come through that. They're tested. They're there for you. It is the Precast Group. Talk to them today. Call them at 482-0003, and they'll tell you more on everything that you need to know.
My family is the most important thing in my life. I don't have a high-paying job, and I'm proud that I always put raising my kids above everything else. But when I got into a serious car accident, I needed money. The surgeries cost more than I make in a year, so I called Richard Schwartz. He got me the money I deserved. I'm Darrell from Jackson, Mississippi, saying thank you, Richard.
Remember, I'm your Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
Believe it or not, as you're sitting and watching this morning, that stuff is growing outside. It's called grass. Freeman Tractor is busy taking care of that because grass has been growing. From the X-Mark, and I just saw a picture this weekend of an X-Mark with a boat motor on the back of it. It was hilarious. Maybe they got one there. If you're looking for a Skag, they've got all of this for you there. A complete line. These are the top-notch, the #1 brand in America across today. And that is it. If you need a cabin air conditioner, I was out week before last, and one was rolling out that had just been loaded up that somebody bought. If you want air conditioner, want to be able to do all your chores and cool with radio, CD, they got it all there for you with attachments galore. If you need a bush hog, these will not rust. These are galvanized. If you're tired of your equipment through the years just rusting out, see them. They'll show you what lasts and lasts. It's all found there with forks, the whole 9 yards. And of course, the Benchy that is made in Texas. 626-8759, or just drop by and visit them. They'll show you all the complete lines there in the Cicalina area there. They've got the 550s, the 750s, anything that you may be looking for. Freeman Tractor, they're there today, tomorrow. As you can tell by the sign, they've been there a long time. See them, 626-8759. Buttermilk will help you out there and get you going there with anything that you might have going on there. Let's see, if we got any more comments there?
Let's see.
June did for John. What he was asking there is it odd that about Johnny and June passing away? June passed first, and then it wasn't 3 to 6 months later that Johnny passed away. And you see that so much.
Like
with
they die
couples.
by heartbreak, you think?
Yeah. I saw a news story just last week that a couple, they've been married, I think, 60 years, died within, I think, 24 hours of each other.
Wow.
She went first. He died.
Especially if you don't have kids around anymore. And you were literally just living for that person.
That is your whole life. Over the weekend, I mentioned on the earlier broadcast, there was there's no other way to word it, a murder in the Meridian areas. They found a body in a vet in his truck that had been shot. Few details are out on that yet. It was on Mosby Road. As the week progresses, hopefully more information will come out about that. Gunshot wound is all that is really...
That's terrible.
It is. There was a robbery in Meridian this weekend on, I guess you call that Airport Boulevard there, going up to College Park there. The gas station was robbed early Saturday morning at gunpoint. No one was hurt, thank God.
Yes.
Crime is just something, no matter where you live, that is. Always watch your surroundings. Be aware who's watching you.
And I think that's important to say that it's not just in Meridian. It's happening everywhere.
It is, and we can't stress that enough. I brought this up. This guy here, this is from Fox News here. This was a firefighter that was on his 10th wedding anniversary in Mexico. They had gone down to Cancun, and his wife, they're sitting there in the hotel bar. His wife goes to the room. He never shows up. She calls the police. They find him 10 miles away in another place with a window on top of his head, where suffocated. Now they're thinking kidnapped. I don't know why or what, but he was targeted.
Wow.
Horrible news for that. She'll never get over that.
That's so sad. And it says that they were in Cancun, so they were away from home, which just makes it even worse.
Yeah. And you can't imagine that. Let's see here some other stories that are going on this morning. A guy in Alabama, a freak, is no other way to word this, has been arrested for, well, he had 400 pair of women's underwear. He tried to rape somebody. They arrested him, and then they go back to his place and find all of this weird stuff.
Oh, no.
But thankfully, and the weird thing is the lady that he tried to rape, he broke in and stole something out of her house the week before. And that's what we say about watch your surroundings. People that follow you, that try to pattern you. This was one of those guys that just bad news.
And I think we always think that it won't happen to us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just in the news, that poor person, but it could be us, and that's what's so scary.
Yeah. So that's a headline across Alabama this morning as you look at this. I've only been in one of these one time. I was in West Texas. Have you ever been in a sandstorm?
No.
It is literally like a snowstorm, but it is sand. You can't see this far in front of you. This happened in Utah. 7 people were killed in a 20-car pileup on a Utah interstate. Wow. As you look at this, here's some of the pictures from the aftermath of this from Daily Mail. Look at this. They couldn't see, and the cars
do?
That's an overview of everything that happened there. But sandstorms, the guy I was with, he was trying to do a gate, and it wasn't 15 feet in front of the car. Couldn't even see.
Is it just that the wind is picking up so much?
And it grabs that dust, and it's just... I've never witnessed anything like that. Because, of course, we don't have that here in the Deep South. That's just not one of our things. Another thing to watch, if you're on vacation, I cannot imagine this going wrong. But a couple went to do a bungee jump. You step up to the thing. It's a 150-foot drop. This was and they tell the boyfriend, jump. They do not have the rope on the girl yet. She mistakens it that they told her to jump.
Oh, no.
And she dove off.
Oh, my gosh.
That, of course, I would never. Have you ever bungee jumped?
No.
What about parasailed?
No. I'll tell you what I did this past weekend. We were in the mall in Jacksonville, and they had one of those jumpy things, like it's a trampoline, and they attach it at your waist, and you jump up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know but I've never done that either.
So my kids are doing it. Well, my mom ended up paying for me and her to do it. Me and my mom.
You got a video of this? Because I'd love to show it.
Yes, we have a video. And I'm telling y'all, I was like, I got this. Like, I got this. I'm getting on there, and this man pulls my legs, and he like my bottom hits the bottom of the trampoline, and I go, and I can see the top of the mall. And I'm spazzing, and like I'm screaming. Like, I'm like, ah. But like as I'm screaming, I'm laughing because I get like that nervous laugh, and I'm crying. Not like scared, just like what is going on. The man gets me off, and he's like, she's crying. I'm like, I'm fine.
So how long did you end up bouncing? How long does it take to?
It was 3 minutes, but it felt like 10. And people, like, I could see everybody in the mall looking at me like, what is this, like, lady doing? She's not a child.
But that's what you do with your kids.
Yeah.
Really and truly.
It was scary. I would not bungee jump. I couldn't.
I cannot. The thought of that makes me, I get dizzy headed thinking
That's
about
what
it.
I'm saying. Like, no, I'm safe on the ground.
But that would be, and I'm sure that there's going to be lawsuits involved with that safety measures were not taken. But imagine the boyfriend there. You live that moment the rest of your life over and over and over.
That's something you'll never forget.
A piece of history is going up for sale. And I got to say, although creepy, it would almost be really cool to also own it all at the same time. Okay. You've heard of Billy the Kid.
Mm-mm.
What are we going to do?
You just got to educate me. Come on.
Billy the Kid was one of the early Emilio Estevez, you know who that is? Okay, he's an actor. And they've made many movies about Billy the Kid. He was a gunslinger in the Old West.
Okay.
A recent picture of him fetched like $10 million that they didn't know.
Just a picture?
A picture that they didn't know existed. But Pat Garrett was the sheriff that tracked him down and shot him. Okay. And the gun that Pat Garrett used to kill Billy the Kid is going under the auction block. Okay. The pistol that actually killed Billy the Kid is going to be auctioned off. They're expecting it to fetch $3 million.
Wow.
But that would be a piece of history that could never be replaced. That'd be kind of cool to own.
Okay, where's this gun been?
A private owner had it before that, and now they're going to auction it off to, I guess, try to make a little money.
I bet I'll go to like a museum or something.
Could be. But there's a lot of people that have these gun collections that, I mean, how cool would that be to go, I've got the gun that killed Billy the Kid?
Yeah. I bet that person would never shoot it, right?
No. I wouldn't take the risk of damaging that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty neat there. That's going to be auctioned off before long. Pat Garrett. So if you're a big history buff, that one, that's pretty big there too. And the next thing that I won't spend a whole lot of time on is the issues that we're having with everything going on with COVID. It is making another comeback. Round and round. Be careful what you're doing. I'm not saying if you don't like wearing masks, do what you feel is safe for you, but wash your hands. That anytime you use a buggy, whatever, more and more we're seeing more cases of this pop up nationwide every single day. So make sure that you're prepared on this.
Yeah, I've seen that new variant is out,
and it's bad. I don't, and it just makes me step back and go, okay, after this one passes, what's going to be next?
Is there going to be another one?
I'm afraid there is.
Yeah.
Now, and don't be mistaken, getting the shot will not keep you from getting it.
Yeah, and that's something that I've seen is that people are getting the vaccine, but they're still catching the virus.
I think it was a misconception that if you got the shot that you wouldn't get it at all.
But isn't it like the flu? You get the flu shot, but the flu shot, now I don't know for sure, but doesn't it only have like it's only targeting a certain type? So if you get a different type,
it's those different threads.
Yeah.
So that is how that happens. So just keep that in mind. And a little jingle music in the background there. Let's talk about my friend Chet. And when I bring up Chet, this is one of the greatest guys around there when it comes to taking care of your automobile. Chet's Paint and Body Shop will put your car back to the way it was. Maybe you got a classic that you want taken care of, put back. He does that also. Now, this is one of the ones that Chet's rolled in. They're getting ready to paint, put it back like it was. A little work there. That's a Chevrolet Silverado. As we go through this, Ford trucks, if you've got a dent, this is one of those that had the door swung. Probably somebody was backing it up and caught it on the carport post, and it swung into the side of the truck. It's put back to the way it was before it all happened. Mustang injured in a little auto accident, and this is a big thing now, is these aluminum beds that trucks are made out of. They can repair all this, put it back. This is a truck that was fixed, had a little crunch in the front there, maybe a mailbox or something, or a deer. This is Chet's car that he painted, and that's when I bring up these classics. If you want yours to look right, let Chet take care of yours. A great paint booth there that will take care of anything. Drop in today. They'll process the insurance claim for you, work all of that out. They're located in Center Hill, 737-2961. If you want quality work with someone who stands behind it and will help you through the whole process, talk to Chet. They understand how things happen, and we'll help you.
I've worked hard all my life, but I found out the hard way insurance companies can abandon their customers when they need them the most. So I called Richard Schwartz. I'm forever grateful I made that call.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
So far, was this your first time that you ever been on television?
It is. Well, I feel like back in the day, they would come to your school and they get a little snip of you.
Yeah.
And I was like on a snip one time, but yeah, this is the first time.
So you feel pretty good about it?
It wasn't bad. I was super nervous. So thank y'all for being so kind.
So you'll come back tomorrow?
Yes, I will definitely be here. Maybe my purple will be a little less purple.
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to. We're going to see, guys. We're going to see.
Well, Ashley, we thank you so much for dropping by this this morning to spend a little bit. We'll talk more tomorrow about school kids and because the school year is really close. We'll get deeper into that to find out what it's about.
Definitely.
Let me say thank you to each and every one of you for letting us come into your home, whether it was through your phone, your computer, or on your television set, and spending an hour with us. We thank you, and we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning to tell you everything that's going on in and around the area. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by